Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Now, as I mentioned, I think in another video, we are getting ready to start our third year of homeschool, home education. And as with each year, you learn something new, you learn more of what works, what doesn't, and of course, every year you try something a little bit new to see how that's going to go. Now, my new thing that I'm trying this year is being a little bit more intentional about being organized. In the past, I've just sort of opened up a book and then flipped through and just gone with the next lesson, and not really planned. And the reason I haven't planned out my homeschool in the past is because I didn't want to feel that pressure of being chained to a schedule. And I'm still not doing that, but I do want a routine. I want my plans laid out so that I'm not scrambling when I want an idea of what we need to do next. So with that said, here is my super fancy, super expensive planner, which is just one of those simple notebooks. I think you can usually pick these up, especially when they're on sale for like 50 cents a piece. I think I got mine for. So let's get started with my homeschool plans and lessons. Okay, so first thing I want to mention is I wrote out all the lessons that I have left in last year's math book for my 7-year-old. And I want to mention that I got this idea from Angie at This Gathered Nest. I watch her channel every once in a while, and she has a new homeschool channel, which I encourage everyone to go check out because it's really beautiful, as all her videos are. And something that she mentioned that I want to implement is that she actually goes through and writes out every single lesson, and I guess she just keeps it handy. And then what she does is as she gets it done, she just marks it off. And it just serves as a great visual reminder of what you're accomplishing, and sort of like, so looking at this list, if I plan to get this done within the first, I don't know, month of homeschool, let's say that, and I have this done by the end of that month, well, then I know that I've gotten so much of my goal done. Or if I'm already, 3/4 of the way through the month and I'm only down to here, then I know that I've really been neglecting this. And I know where to pick up, and then say I have another lessons from another subject written out and I've got most of those done, I know I can lay off those other ones and concentrate on these. I just thought it was a great visual reminder of what you're actually accomplishing. And I sort of need that. I need that to be able to just look at something and say, oh, look, I am getting it done. Or maybe something that I thought I was doing good at getting done, but I actually am not. Because in the past, I have just kind of tried to keep up with it in my head and been like, okay, so at least 3 of 5 days out of the week, we're getting this subject done. So we're good. When in actuality, maybe I wasn't getting as much done as I thought. Or in other subjects, I don't think I'm getting that much done, but when it's all laid out, I actually am getting quite a lot done. So this is my younger daughter's math, and then right over here, I have the math laid out for when she starts her next book. And as you can see, I just have it labeled up here, Right Start, Blue Book, Level B. And then I think there was 140 lessons, let's see, yeah. So my goal is to get 95 out of 140 of these lessons done. The reason that I wrote that specifically for her is because she's just a little bit slower at math. Like it takes her longer to understand a concept and be able to move on. So I just really want to not push her too hard. Now, ideally, I want to get the whole book done this year. I mean, that's ideal. But considering that she has these lessons left from the last book, I'm okay with getting most of it done. And math is really important. It's something that I do every single day with the kids, unless something, extra is going on, like we have an appointment or something. Then we might miss math, but math is very important. So it's very important to me that I be able to see how much we're getting done as far as math goes. Now this is my 9-year-old's math lessons that I have all written out. I haven't bought her curriculum yet, but I am guesstimating it has about 140 lessons as well. So these are her math lessons. And then our next subject is geography. Now I went through our geography book, which is very activity based, like hands-on. It's not a worksheet based book at all. And I wrote down the different parts and then how many activities are in each part. Now there were 38 activities. And so being realistic with myself and considering that they're all hands-on, I decided we should do half this year at minimum. The goal I wrote was half, which would be right about here. So half of these get done, and I'm also going to be alternating. I wrote down here, alternate, draw USA. I also have a Draw the USA book, which I'll be alternating our geography activities with. So that's my goal, and then again, I'll just mark them off as I get them done. Now, our next subject is building foundations for scientific understanding. Science. Do you like my super fancy planning here? Guys, you don't have to get fancy with this. Again, I'm just using a simple spiral notebook and a dyeing Sharpie and then my favorite gel pen. I mean, that's all that I did to plan this out. So, for the BFSU science book, it says it's supposed to go K through second, so kindergarten through second grade. So it's meant to last you several years. My goal for this year was to get 2 of the sections done. I think the lesson B ones are life science, and then this is like lesson A's are like matter, states of matter. So, and I wrote right here, half book. So these 2 lessons blocks are going to be half the book, and then there's a C and a D. Minimum, I want to get half the book done. And again, I'll just be marking these off and keeping track of how much we are actually accomplishing. Next is art. Now, I wrote down just art 1, art 2, art 3, and I went all the way to art 30. And then I just put these in these 10 chunks. Like I wrote 1 through 10, and then I made a space 11 through 20, and then 21 through 30. And that, there's no reason for that other than to just keep it in sizable bits. Like when I see all art 1 through 10 is marked off, I'm going to feel really accomplished and say, look, I only have 2 more of these chunks. I haven't planned out art so much other than I want to get 30 art projects or just doing like art with the kids, hands-on, at least 30 of them this year, at least. I really want to concentrate on a lot of art this year. The thing I didn't do was plan which artist or what activity we were doing. I think I'm just going to fly more by the seat of my pants in what we're studying in our art history books, and then picking out an activity from there. I'm probably only going to plan those 1 to 2 weeks ahead of time. Now the next subject is poetry. So I just wrote poems to memorize, and I went through our Build Your Library curriculum, and I wrote down all the poems that were put in there for us to memorize. And some poems get up to like 3 to 4 weeks to memorize, depending on how long they are. Some, it's only a week, but these are going to be all the poems we're going to memorize. And we really enjoy poetry memorization. The kids really love reciting it and just reading it together every day. So this is very doable. Maybe it looks like a lot of poems to some people, but this is very doable, especially if your kids really get into memorizing the poetry. And then I'll just mark those off as we go. The next thing that I'm going to be doing this year is jot it down from Brave Writer. I'm going to be doing it with my 9-year-old as well, even though she is a very proficient writer, just because we'll just start from the beginning and it'll be fun for her. And I mean, she's not going to complain at all about being babyish. She can just write on her own, and I'm going to write for my 7-year-old quite a bit. So I just wrote down all the projects from the Brave Writer scope. And so project 1 is a fairy tale project, and I assume you just kind of concentrate on this for a little while, or maybe you intersperse it. But I have all the little projects and the fairy tales written down. And then project 2, art appreciation. Project 3, a photo journal. Project 4, mini animal book. Project 5, posters. Project 6, lists. Project 7, letterbox. Project 9, body art. And project 10, plan a party, which I think will be super fun to do at the end of the year. I do want to plan like a book theme party with the kids. I just think that sounds amazing. This will probably take us a little more than a month, the project 1, doing all the different fairy tales, because I plan to only really work on those on Fridays unless the kids ask for more. And some of these will only probably just be done in like a week's time. Others will take a full month. I want to get all these done. I'm not gonna lie. My goal is to get all of these done. I really want to make writing a priority as well this year. Now, the next thing that I wrote out is our read alouds, and these are just all the books we plan to read aloud. Some of them we might skip, and I might write in others from the library. I think that we will read more than this, but this is the minimum. This is my fallback. This is what I'm going to check. Okay, what should our next read aloud be? Okay, Viking Adventures. That's great because we're already reading about Vikings. We already read Where the Mountain Meets the Moon just last week, so that's why I crossed this out. All these, or except for the Gauntlet, all of these come from the Build Your Library Level 2. I wrote Henry Huggins over here because I do want to try to get one arrow done from Julie Bogart's Brave Writer. Now, the last thing that I have planned out so far and written down are the documentaries and TV shows. This is just my basic list. I just wrote all these out again from Build Your Library Level 2. I haven't checked to see if they're on Netflix or on Amazon Prime. Those are the 2 subscriptions that we have. And this is just a master list of like, okay, I want to watch a documentary with the kids, or I would like to supplement with what we're studying right now. Let's find something fun to do and look for one of these documentaries. And then I also plan to go through our account and just write down as I see like fun history shows or things that I think the kids might enjoy, just to have a master list and a reminder all in one spot. But that's all I have written out and planned so far. And I just kind of wanted to share that and show you guys that this can be super simple, super easy. I mean, literally all you need to plan out your homeschool year is a simple spiral notebook that costs less than $1, a Sharpie, and like a pen, and you have it planned out. You don't need anything fancy. I'm not certainly getting fancy with it since this is my first year doing it, and hopefully I'll be able to update you guys here in a few months and let you know how all this is going. But I hope this was helpful for someone, and I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll see you all again really soon.